Hey guys, Benji here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a topic that I haven't really touched on yet with this channel. This is something I have interest in myself, and what it is cryptocurrency. If you like this type of content, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. So here it is. 5 reasons you should be invested in Bitcoin in 2021. Reason number 1, it's the fastest, most secure means of payment between two wallets through what is called the blockchain. The blockchain is a form of decentralized technology in which manages as well as records all transactions that take place through mathematical equations. This means that all transactions are managed through several nodes within the ledger on the blockchain, not the government. What a ledger does is it distributes and holds information instantaneously across several nodes. In layman's terms, this is like an electronic account book that interconnects all transactions within the blockchain instant, if you will. With each transaction that takes place, vital information such as price, asset, and ownership are recorded and then settled within seconds across all nodes. This builds both security and sustainability in the long-term vision of this technology. It's like using digital cash, but with no oversight. The only oversight there is the recording of a secure transaction via a computer. No one person or entity, it's the blockchain, which ensures privacy and efficiency. Reason number 2, there's a finite supply of Bitcoin in circulation. This means that there's a limited amount of Bitcoin available for purchase. Not all coins have a finite amount in circulation. For example, Dogecoin in theory produces about 5 billion coins per year. Speaking in terms of Bitcoin, as it's the focus of this video, there were only 21 million mined and there will only be 21 million in circulation. And actually, miners are still working at getting the final Bitcoin mined into the blockchain, and the last coins up for grabs will be minted around the year 2140. Minting a coin is a term for when the blockchain has validated information, being that a new coin was created in this instance. Food for thought, we have a little over 18 million Bitcoin mined currently and a little under 3 million to go. So what does this mean considering Bitcoin has a cap on circulating supply? One very important reason is that this means Bitcoin can't be manipulated by pouring more money into it. Furthermore, Bitcoin cannot be generated outside of what has already been created, meaning that Bitcoin can't become devalued. The price just stabilizes with whatever amount of fiat is circulating within it. Let's say we were dealing with cash. Centralized banks can print more, resulting in what we know as inflation, something the US is well aware of. Reason number 3, Bitcoin is the wisest investment in my opinion, as it's become the least risky with the most potential upside. So what makes it the wisest investment? International adoption is taking place and it's still early on. Bitcoin was launched in 2009 and became available to the general public through various exchanges, predominantly Mt. Gox, as I'm sure you've heard of before. Even though this is not an institution, but like an IPO, an initial public offering in the stock market, in this case a CPO, when released, typically if the coin has a good purpose for its use or it provides a good reason to belong on the blockchain, the price will reflect that. Over time, as the coin evolves and becomes more useful, it gains dominance and grows. This is where early adoption is important. More importantly, institutional adoption is taking place, which will provide us with a solid grounding in that this is something to be interested in. All in all, this will all drive up the price. I also noticed there are ETFs being built around Bitcoin showing investor interest on a mass scale as well as local interest. Let me elaborate. For example, after conversing here and there over time about the concept of Bitcoin with my chiropractor, he's now interested in accepting the virtual currency as payment for care. This is wonderful, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, real adoption. How does Bitcoin have the most upside? Being that it's still a new concept, this provides massive upside potential, for there isn't a clear understanding of what the security is worth yet, which is why it's so volatile. Along with that, the crypto market cap is $2 trillion as of April, Bitcoin making up half of that alone, clearly showing favorability. Since February, we have moved up 25% in total market cap, being an additional $400,000 circulating in the blockchain. The United States market equity valuation is currently $491 trillion. Majority is made up of stocks, bonds, real estate, and precious metals, The crypto market makes up approximately 0.4% comparatively. If crypto becomes adopted full force with institutional interest amongst other major investment funds, this would directly reflect in demand as well as price point for the coin itself. Although market cap doesn't directly correlate with price, it does provide a figure to assist in the makeup of the current valuation. So what happens when a coin's market cap goes up? Market cap is determined by the current price multiplied by the circulating supply. So market cap equals price times circulating supply. What this shows us is the popularity each coin possesses, really. If the market cap rises, that means that circulating supply is rising, and that usually follows with higher demand, followed by You guessed it, higher prices. Now let's imagine Bitcoin market cap rises from 1 trillion to 2 trillion. History tends to repeat itself. The Bitcoin market cap hit $500 billion for the first time respectively at the end of 2020. It was worth approximately $30,000 at that time, and that's rounding up because it was a little under that. As I mentioned previously, the Bitcoin market cap is now at 1 trillion, double than what it was, 500 billion, and the price is currently hovering at double what it was, being about 60,000 right now. So you can see how it relates. So as you can see, the market cap does reflect supply and demand, which directly correlates with pricing. If Bitcoin becomes a major asset class and identified as such, then it would be a safe interpretation in that Bitcoin should steadily rise as mass adoption becomes more realistic. How does it provide the least amount of risk? Bill Miller of Miller Value Funds, an institution that beat out the S&P 500 for 14 years in a row, has mentioned that the higher the price goes up on Bitcoin, the less risk the security imposes. So how does this support my idea of it being low risk? It doesn't necessarily, but what it does show is that knowledgeable investors understand that this is a security to be reckoned with. The risk mostly with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in general is that they're so volatile. And I say in rebut, as they should be. This is still a new concept being adopted internationally. I wouldn't expect a hard valuation to be found in the near future. This is good in the bullish perspective, as we know that this is a universal product. Bitcoin is in the midst of a current identity crisis as it has not been labeled as a specific asset yet. Is this money or is it a currency? You use it to compute transactions via fiat currency, but for example in Japan, it's not viewed as a fiat currency at all. It's a cryptocurrency. This sounds like a newfound form of payment processing if you ask me. So what do we call it? The IRS deems it an asset as of right now, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission views it as a commodity. In my opinion, it's nothing to worry about because regardless of what it may be deemed by a governing party, that doesn't mean it will have the same use in another country. In other words, do we really see it being classified in a given sector that would prevent growth and prosperity? I don't think so. Regardless of the outcome, I believe there will be a way to integrate its existence within our day-to-day lives, procuring dividends for the early adopters. Reason number 4, liquidity within your portfolio. Unlike the stock market, in which has a market maker that creates buy-sell orders with large volume in order to manipulate stock prices, this just can't happen with Bitcoin. All markets seek to have high liquidity in that you have easy access to your money. This isn't always the case when supply overpowers demand and vice versa. For example, a real estate buyer or seller market. With Bitcoin, you see, you have access to your fiat at a moment's notice. You can exchange between cryptos by transferring your funds from one to another. You can conduct transactions and withdrawals all at a snap of your fingers. This is important to even the large investor. All transactions are made with no middleman, no banks, no government, so it's instantaneous, as I've described before. Reason number 5, market cycles. This is the year for major moves. Bitcoin operates on a 4-year cycle. In 2013, we had a nice jump. In 2017, we had a nice jump. And now here we are 4 years later, 2021, and we're about due for another major move up. Where do I think we're going? I'd hate to throw random numbers out there, but based on all the research I've been doing, staying up to date, etc., I can see Bitcoin hitting anywhere between 180,000 to 220 in this market cycle by the end of this year. Then after this cycle, I can see an easy $1 to $15 million valuation per Bitcoin. I know that's super broad, but I don't want to build any expectations for you guys and have you YOLO any of your money. Realistically, I think a fair valuation by the year 2030 for Bitcoin should be 2.5 million per coin. Typically, with any market cycle, there's your initial rise and fall. I like to call this the wake-up call. Then what usually follows is an accumulation period. This is where you buy the dip. Crypto moves pretty quickly, as we know, so during times of accumulation, take what you can if you're thinking about stocking up, because they don't last long. After the accumulation period, then comes the final rise, which is going to be the largest with that cycle, presumably. From past experiences, I've seen Bitcoin to rise a cool 100% in its final moments of its cycle before having its pullback to accumulation again. Being diligent and observation during the end of the market cycle would be most wise for any of you looking to make the most of your money. I used to think the end of the market cycle would be around the end of July, early August, but with past performance amongst other ideas I have floating around, I have a feeling it might drag drag out till the end of the year. I guess we'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Bitcoin will keep rising till the end of the year, or do you think it will end around the fall season? That's it. That's all I got for you guys today. Those are the 5 reasons why I think you should be invested in Bitcoin in 2021. Again, if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. Let me know in the comments below where you think Bitcoin is going. And thank you to all my current subscribers. You guys are awesome. To everyone else watching this video, thanks for tuning in. Benji Tot, thanks a lot. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.